Since you're about to watch a damn long video, it's my responsibility to let you know what you'll find inside without wasting much of your time. So, this is the recording of a 6-day workshop I took back in August 2020, and we built a Twitter clone. Well, not full fledged, but it had all the posting and commenting and deleting and all that stuff, right? Beautiful stuff. So you learned everything and you need not to have any experience before it for web development, right? You just need to know how your computer works. That's all. You learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js, Express, MongoDB, and everything from scratch. You'll also learn how to deploy your website on the web so anyone in the world can access it. Also, I'm going to conduct a workshop, a similar workshop on React.js, and if you want to be notified for that, please make sure to follow me on Instagram and maybe DM me that excited for React or something. I don't know. And one more thing, this series is in two versions. Okay, it's uploaded in two versions. One, it's the long, the all parts combined 7.5 hours long, and the other one will be uploaded every day, and it's in 6 part, so you can choose whichever way you like 1 hour each day or 7.5 hours at once. So it's up to you. And that's all from my side. I hope you enjoy this video and get on to it.
and all that. So yeah, that's all you have to do to configure your Git. And next, we'll just create a folder and initialize our Git repository there. So get into that. If you want, you can use actually. Wait. You can actually use your GUI to create folders. I'm just used to using terminal. That's why. All you have to do is go to your desktop or anywhere and create a folder which you'll be using for your project folder, and you can open that in your terminal. CD into that. I hope you don't have any problem with that using your terminal. If you have, you can ask. All good. Okay, cool. So yeah, what we have to do is we have to tell Git that we want you to watch this folder for any change we make. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So git init, and it will create a .git folder. Okay, so it will create a .git folder, and this will contain all the information which will be in that Git repository. Okay, so Git basically is just a version control system which will watch your file changes and anything that you do in your project. And some of you might be confused with Git and GitHub. How are these two different? So I have that project which I just showed you. So that's uploaded on my GitHub. So GitHub is basically a remote storage where you can store your Git repositories. So this is that you can come here and see all of my commits. Commits are basically saved changes which I have told that save it till here. So yeah, these are all the changes which I made. You can come here and open anything, and it will show you what changes were made. So I changed port from 8000 to 4000. The red one is the deleted, and green one is the added change. And you can see here plus and minus also. So yeah, that's the basic difference between Git and GitHub. And Git is just for local changes, tracking that, and GitHub is just for storing your local repository to a remote location so that you can clone it anywhere and use it everywhere, and obviously collaborate with other people. So yeah, that's what Git is. Actually, I have a checklist. So README is a special file which GitHub sees, where you can add the information for your projects. And I'll actually go and open this folder in my code editor. So what I can do is just come here. I have opened Mosaic Twitter in my terminal already. So I'll just come here and do that code space dot. So it will open my folder here. Actually, dot get is a hidden folder. That's why it won't show it here. I hope that's the thing. But yeah, so I'll be using VS Code for this project. And yeah, I can create a README to track everything on readme.md. It's not a necessary file, but it's good to have it, I guess. Show something here below your project. So yeah, I just copy the content of this README. Yeah, this MD file is basically a mark markup language like HTML is. So we can. All right, so I told you about Git and GitHub, and I gave you a project overview and what are technologies we are going to be using. So yeah, you might be familiar with HTML and CSS, obviously. So I guess I'll just give you a brief overview of it. So HTML is basically a markup language which is used to style your style not style actually structure your web pages. Okay, so it has mainly the HTML file is divided into two parts: head, which is not visible on the page, and the body tag is actually which we see on the page. Okay, so here we can add a header like header, and we can say h1, and we can say this is HTML. All right. So we can actually open this up in our web browser. Yeah. All right. So this is what we will see. This title actually is visible in the you know what do you say tab. So yeah, the body part will be seen in the HTML document, web browser. Okay, so that is HTML basically, and I'll just quickly show you what is CSS. CSS is basically used to style the structure which we write using HTML, and this is how we link a HTML file to CSS file. We use a link tag. All right, I won't use emit. Wait. Uh, use a link tag, and we have to, what do we give it? SRC rel. We'll give it a rel. What is rel sheet? And we'll use a SRC. Wait. Okay, I forgot. I have used to use a href. We give it. So yeah, basically we give it a relation rel, that it's a style sheet, and we give a href, basically a link where it is right like if we make a folder that it's CSS inside it, we move it, the styles.css to inside CSS folder. So we have to say that it's inside CSS and there's a style.css. So yeah, basically we have to give the path where is it. And now how CSS works. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I forgot that href. I get confused between src and href. No problem. Okay, so we can actually, how CSS works, we can actually select the tag and style it. So actually we can select multiple things. All right, so tag is one of them. So we'll just select the whole body and give it a background color of I don't know, black. And so our text is gone because that's also black. So let's give our text white color. All right, so and that's how CSS works. All right, so yeah, we can select header and we can do like text align center, and it should align it to center. Right, all the text that were inside the header, it got aligned center. And if we you know uh, cut it here outside the header, it will be the default alignment. The default alignment is left aligned. So yeah, so that's the CSS. HTML is used for structuring the web and a web page, and CSS is used to style the web page. JavaScript is basically the programming language that we will be using a lot, and JavaScript is the only programming language actually, and which is used on the front end part. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you how JavaScript is used. So I hope we use script and src only here. We have to close the script tag, and here I'm pretty sure we use src. Yeah, we have to create a file. Actually, we can create a folder called scripts RIPTS. Okay, and we can create index.js. All right, and we can say we have it in scripts index.js, and what we can do to check that it's connected, we can show an alert message that it's connected. All right, so it shows it is connected. All right, so I hope that wasn't too fast, was it? These are the technologies which we'll be using on the front end. All right, which we won't be using any front end libraries or framework like React, Angular, anything like that. We won't be using for this at least 5 days. And yeah, we can. I hope we can move to Node. Is it fine?
So I hope guys so until now you guys are very clear with all the concepts. If you all have any doubts, you all can feel free to ask him right now before we move ahead to the next concept. You all can just unmute yourselves and ask.
Yeah. No questions?
I guess they all are clear, so you can continue with it. If you have any other doubts, you can text in the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah, you can do it.
Also, guys, we will be providing you all with the code snippets for this. So don't worry if you all have missed out any part of it. But nevertheless, it is better because this was very basic. So we have gone through it like kind of very fast. But now, once we enter Node.js, it is the backend part that we start. It would take it might take time for you all to grasp. So it's better that you all are clear with this part. So that's what I'm saying. If you all have any doubts until here, please ask right now before we move ahead.
Yeah, please. I guess we can move ahead. So yeah, what is Node? So Node, as they say on the website, Node is basically a JavaScript runtime. So what's that? So actually, JavaScript was a language which we could only use in the browser. Okay, it was not like your C and C++ that you can use on your local machines and that. So after Node, we can do that, and that's the reason why we can use it on the server as well, and that's what we are gonna do in this workshop. Okay, so I hope you guys have installed Node. You can check that by typing node dash v, and it should show a version number for it. And you can do npm dash v as well, and it should also show a number, is its version actually. Now,
Arpan, could you also show them how you got the terminal there on the IDE, because I think many
right,
people would wish there.
right. So actually, you can simply go to here, terminal, and you can click on new terminal, or you can what you can do is you can press control and what's that called, tilde. Okay, the
That's below escape button.
okay,
It's the
okay,
tail. Yeah,
just a
it's used
minute,
for
it is
disrupt.
checking.
Everybody knows it.
Okay, Harshul, getting installed.
I
Okay,
have one more.
no, yeah,
Yeah. How to auto save HTML file? You need to always press Ctrl S.
yeah, that's actually depends on your IDE. Okay,
Okay.
you can
In VS Code, how to do?
yeah, you can go to file, you can check your autosave. Okay,
Okay.
so once it's checked, it will be autosaved.
Okay.
I
Thanks.
don't really, yeah, no problem. So yeah, it's getting installed. No problem. I'll just tell you what Node is. Okay. So Node, I actually told you, Node is a JavaScript runtime. From using it, we can actually press Node and will be inside Node environment. Did I tell you how did I get terminal, Pratik?
Yes, that's pretty much clear now. I think everyone with the terminal is done.
Okay, and if you're not using VS Code, what you can do is you can use this terminal as well. You just have to open it in your actually, for using Node, you can use it anywhere, from anywhere. You can uh, open a new terminal and just go to Node, and you'll be in the Node environment. But yeah, if you want to use this terminal, external terminal for the project, you need to be inside that folder which you created. Okay, hope that's clear. So once we're inside the Node environment, we can actually uh, write JavaScript code, and it will run inside our machine, which is only possible because of Node and now Dino as well. So yeah, we can write hello world. So yeah, that's undefined is basically the return value of this function. Console.log returns undefined, and it prints, like we have printf in C, like we have print in Python, and that way we have console.log in JavaScript. Okay. Uh, so yeah, we can do like const a4, and it will return. It will basically declare a constant variable, and later, since it's a constant, we can not change its value. And we have another let, like we use in maths. Here we can use let, and what this does is we can change later on the value of the variable. Okay, so now it should be first be defined as 9. So that's just the Node environment. Okay, and So what I want to show you is one pretty cool book on JavaScript. This is called Eloquent JavaScript, and it's inside the browser only. You can go ahead and read it, and I will be using it, to tell you really brief you about the language, so that we don't waste much time. And uh, since I told you that JavaScript was a language that we can write inside the browser, so in every browser, almost every browser, in Firefox or Chrome or Opera, whichever you're using, you can actually write, you know, you can actually wait. You can actually open, inspect, or anything you have that. So there will be a console tab here, and you can actually write JavaScript code here. And again, hello world. So yeah, it's almost the same with Node, Node environment. And I say same because every JavaScript has a global variable. In browser's case, it is window. It contains all the functions that we can do on window. This one, the browser window. All right. So it contains all that. In Node, there's no browser. That's why there's no window object. There's something known as global object, but we won't go deep into that. So yeah. So yeah, like I hope you guys know C, right? Some of you might be knowing Python as well because they're being taught. And
Okay,
so
1 minute, Arpan. So yeah, before you guys proceed, so console is something that is a really important thing, so we are giving you an overview. So in the whole project, if you all face any errors, that error would be coming in your console tab. So
right,
the console works very similar to like your terminal, but in JavaScript, it is very handy because you're having your website next to you, so you could always check out as to where your errors are coming, and you could sort it out it makes your life much more easier. So it would be a good habit if you all start practicing using console. I know many of you who all are beginners here might not know about this, but it wouldn't take your time to master it. So from the beginning of the project, start using it would be a suggestion.
right, right.
Okay, Apan, go on.
Okay. Also, for the backend, we will be using your terminal only for your console. But for the front end, this is only your option for getting errors and everything. So yeah, so like every language, JavaScript also has types and operators. Like we can add things, numbers. We can add strings, concatenate strings. Just obsessed with the string, man. Okay, and we have every arithmetic. It's almost similar to C. So I don't want to go deep into that and bore you with those concepts. So yeah, it's have that. And here we just have data types like numbers, strings, and objects. Okay, so we can actually check. So it will give us a number. It won't give us specifically integer or float. So yeah, there's only number. Okay. Likewise, we don't have any character. Even if you put one character, it will give us a string. Even if you put nothing inside the string, it will give. Even if you use a single quote, it will also give us a string. Okay. So JavaScript is like that. And yeah, we have numbers. We can do arithmetic operations on numbers. We have special numbers, like we have infinity, minus infinity. Okay. And we have strings. You can go ahead and check this book out after this if you want to go very deep in JavaScript. So we have unary operator. I just showed you this type of operator. That's one unary. And like C, we have minus, unary minus. Okay. We have Boolean. Yeah, right. We have type of true. So it should give us a Boolean. And there are two special types. I hope they showed. and we can do comparison operations, what is called relational operations. Okay, so we can do that on string, we can do that on number, like every other language. Okay, there's a special not a number. Okay, NaN, and interestingly it returns a number. I guess, yeah, NaN returns a number. Okay, so not a number is a number. So yeah, we can do logical operations like every other language. And yeah, if um, yeah, thank you. So yeah, if you
Just
know,
a minute, Arpan.
yeah, yeah,
So, guys, if you all have doubts, avoid posting it on the chat box. Instead, unmute yourself and ask your
yeah, yeah,
doubt.
you can ask directly, you can ask.
Yeah. So, don't mind disturbing him. It's okay. You all can unmute yourselves and ask your doubts. That would be a better option.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so like if you have any doubts in the operators also, you can ask it. And yeah, we have this ternary operator as well. Okay, like we have in C. So yeah, I hope all these things are very familiar to you. I hope it is. So yeah, one thing, that type conversion, JavaScript is weakly typed language, so it converts implicitly, very like C. Okay, Python, you might know that Python is a strongly typed language, so it won't convert your data types implicitly. You have to explicitly tell that convert it to int then add. But here in JavaScript, it will convert to, like, here it shows string 5 minus 1 converts to or it should do that, so we can check it. And if we try to multiply a string with number, it will give us NaN, which is not a number. So yeah. And yeah, it will convert 0 to false as well, like C does. So it's very similar to C. So I don't think it should be very tricky to pick it up. So yeah, there are two types. One is null and second one is undefined. So you'll see what these are in when we'll make the program. But basically, undefined is like we declare a variable var a and we don't give it a value, so it is undefined. Like a function which returns nothing is also undefined. You can compare undefined to void. If you do, we have void in C? I don't think we have, right? We have. Anyone?
Yes, we have.
We have.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you can compare undefined to void of C or Java. Okay, so yeah, likewise, we have okay, this shortcut thing I'll show you in the program only. So these are the basic operations and types and values. Program structure, I don't think we need this. Expression and statements is definitely similar to C. Yeah, function. So yeah, function, like C, we don't have to tell a return value, tell what type of integer. Like I showed you, we don't have to tell what integer it is, what variable it is, whether it is integer or string. We can just initialize it and it will know what the type of uh, is the console visible?
Yes.
Scope of war is, I guess, out of scope. But yeah, we can go to that, but I guess it would be, it could be out of scope of this course, but no problem. Yeah, so wait, I just did 56. I have to do, yeah. So yeah, it automatically takes number. We never defined number, right? And we can just change it to string, and it should give us, wait, it should change to string. Right? So JavaScript is dynamic language. So whatever we give the value to the variables, it will take that. We don't have to explicitly tell whether it is integer or in this case number or string or anything. Okay, so the way we define function is actually we have different ways to define function. We can say function name one. We can give it a parameter like, okay, and we can simply say return x x, take the data here. Okay, so yeah, there's this is one way to define a function. Okay, and to check it, fun1 should return, yeah, square of the argument passed, right? And another way, like they did, we can define a variable, and oops, we can do that. We can say fun2, and we can say function, and simply give the curly braces, and we can pass the parameter like x only, and right. Now we can return fun2. Let's pass 7 here, 33.5. And there's another way and very new way. This is arrow functions. Okay, and why is this arrow? We have to give parentheses at the first only, like we used to give with function at the last after function, but we have to pass the parameter first, then we give it an arrow with equal and greater than sign, then we can give brackets, and we can simply say return I don't know, x into x into x and into x. Okay, and same way we can call it fun3, and we can say 5. Okay, and the cool thing about this is that we can actually omit so many code. Like we can simply say if we have like only a return statement, which we mostly do, you'll see why. We can actually just simply say no need of curly braces, no need of return keyword. You can simply say you can simply say this, and it's a perfectly fine function. And 4 should give 27. Yeah. So yeah, this is just for one liner statement when we are just returning something. So this is useful there. We can omit all the return keywords, all the curly braces and all. We can do this, which was not possible with this one. Okay. So yeah. Binding and scope. So we have to do that. The scope is basically like we have C. If we define a function, variable inside the function, function scope 1. If we define a function, or even if it is the parameter variable, or we have like const a equals, we do have a above, yeah. So we can say xyz equals 67, and we cannot access this xyz outside this, I guess. In var we can't. xyz. yeah, it's not defined outside the function. It's out of the scope. So yeah, I guess that's all about the function. You know how to express them. Objects and all, yeah. Arrow call stack. You might know this from the C. It's definitely same in every language actually, not in JavaScript and C, but in every language call stack is same. Object and array, yeah, this is a bit of object is a bit of language specific, so you have to see that. But array is simple, and you can simply find an array with, and like in C we have to we have to give name, yeah. So in C were restricted to a same type of array. So here we can actually have string and wait. Yeah, so we can actually have a string and array, and basically different types of data types in same array. So that's possible here. And the object is basically const obj. Wait. It's basically property key value pairs like a equals I don't know, a equals capital A, I guess, and invalid shorthand shouldn't be that. Oh wait, my bad. Okay, so inside the object we have to give a colon, not equal to, my bad. So yeah, and the way we can access this property is obj dot a, same as like structure, so yeah, we can give the name of object and then a dot and that property. Basically these are the properties of object. We can add more properties in object. I guess we can do this. That will be, and that's perfectly fine. And we can print out object, and it will have a b. So yeah, we can add property, we can delete also. But you might have noticed that we have used const, but still we were able to add and delete properties. So yeah, we can't in the object, these are basically referenced object, right? So we can use const here, and we can add property and delete property from here. So yeah, that's just a thing you can know and read more about it. So I guess it's getting late, so we should start with our server. Okay, server setup. So yeah, back to Node.
So yeah, guys, now we'll be starting with the Node.js part. So basically, whatever Arpan did until now was basic JavaScript. Y'all can find the documentation very easily on WT3 schools. So that would be the best place to take references and practice it on console. So yeah, if you all have like so today is basically like we'll be starting the server now. So before that, like whatever concepts have been involved is like really very similar to all your C language or C++ or even Java up to some extent. So yeah, I think if you all have any doubts in JavaScript, you all may ask now before we proceed with the server starting part. Anyone?
Anyone? Any questions?
Okay, guys. So you guys have to be interactive because this workshop is only going to be fun that way. It's not like a one way. I mean, we don't want to make it like your class lectures. So
Right.
if you all are lost, it's fine. It's fine. You all can ask any questions, be however
Yeah, yeah.
embarrassing it is. No one is going to judge you all. So please feel free to ask. If you all are stuck
Yeah.
anywhere, we are here to help you. So it would be a problem for you guys if you all miss out something, and you all won't enjoy the workshop. So that's what I'm saying. Any doubts? and even up to like up till JavaScript. Any doubts you all can ask right now.
What's the difference between let and var? Actually, you know what? Wait. War is old. Okay, let is new. So yeah, actually, what happened is when war was there, we could actually, let me take a new variable. Um, Hello. Okay. So we had a variable like hello, and actually what happened, we could redefine it. Okay, that was the major problem. We could redefine, and it won't, the compiler, or sorry, the interpreter won't shout at you that it's an error, you should not do this, you cannot do this. But with let, we can't actually do that. Okay, like we defined it once, we can't redefine it. We can reassign it, but we cannot redefine it. Okay. What? It shouldn't happen. But yeah, that was the thing. With const, we cannot. Okay. Yeah. I did not.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I'll get back.
No
So
problem.
basically, in the case of LET is usually local, but variable is usually more globalish types. Like in a case, LET is like if you define it within a statement kind of a thing, a conditional statement,
No, I
LET
actually
is
got an
always
error
limited to that.
previously.
But a variable is always global. So that is the main difference. Yeah.
What? Okay, no problem. Any more questions? So when we add a char with an int, it simply places it. Can you next to it? Yeah. Why not converting in ASCII can have trouble with hash tables? Sorry, I did not get your question. Can you unmute yourself and talk, please? It's not a problem. When you add a char, it simply places next to it. Right, it concatenates it. Why not converting in ASCII and have trouble in hash tables? Like, yeah, that's how the language works actually. What can we do?
Uh, okay, so guys, any more questions, or should we proceed further towards starting the server, which is like I'm sure now the exciting part starts. So yeah, I know you guys. If you all know the basics, you all might have been troubled a lot. So fine, we'll go ahead with the basics. In the meantime, I would so like after this workshop, I would suggest you all to get onto these websites, W3 schools, and even we'll share some links with you all. It is very suggestible for you all to practice it. Any syntax problems, you all can text us in the group, and we'll always be there to help. So yeah, Arpan, let's not delay anymore. Start with the Node.js part.
Okay, we'll just simply, set up our server. I actually don't want these, so I'll simply remove it. Delete permanently. So yeah, I actually showed you two things. One was Node, and the other was npm, right? So npm is a package manager which we will be using to install packages, right? So that we can use it in our Node application. So we can simply go it here, and you can type npm init. Is my terminal visible?
Yes.
Okay. You can simply type npm init, and it will ask you a few questions like what should be the package name, like project name basically. So I'll just leave it like that, version, leave it like that. You can just press enter to this. You can type a description. You can add an entry point which should be your, like the main function. Okay, so we won't have main function here, but it will be like your main function. Is it has a get repository? No. Author I can put open. Okay, license. Yeah, it will ask is this okay? Yes, and we would have a package.json file. This is basically a, this will contain all the meta tags which we like what all dependencies or packages we'll be using, or install in this. So we can go ahead and npm I or install, and we can simply write the package name. Like we'll be using one package called Express. We'll be using a package called, actually, I'll just install one package and show you. It will take some time to download and install. After it is installed, you can see that we
Arpan,
have
one more thing.
Yeah.
When you type a command, could you also like paste it in the chat box so these people could also paste it in the terminal immediately?
Okay, we'll do
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that our package.json has now a dependency property which has Express, and it has the version we are using. Okay, so you can notice that this is also like the object I showed you. It has key and value pair, right? So yeah, and you can see that we have a node modules folder. Basically, this is where the packages are installed. So we have a cookie parser here. No, just cookie. Okay, so we will need a few more packages. We won't be using them right now, but I want to show you something. Actually, you know what? Let's create Express server and then see that index.js, and I'll const express equals require express. So this is how we import a package in Node.js app. Okay, so const express equals express, and we have to initialize a app, and we have to call the function so that this app will be using for the rest of the code. And we can say that simply app.listen, and we can give it a port like 4000. And actually, I don't know if that's available. 5000. Yeah, and we can pass a function, and we can say console.log server has started. All right, now we can just come here and node space index.js, like you run your Python files. You see the server has started. Actually, we can give it at port and provide. Okay, we don't have port variable. We'll just say 5000. Right. So now we have, for the changes to update, we have to close the server and restart the server, and we should have a localhost 5000. Since we don't have, so we won't get anything. Cannot get star slash. Okay, so we don't have anything set up. So let's get that. But before that, I want to fix this, closing and restarting the server. So for that, I can install npm I dash capital D and nodemon. What this will do, it will watch our file changes and restart the server whenever a file is being changed. I'll just copy and paste it to the sheet as well. I is a short for install, npm install, like we did the last time. And capital D is, I'll show you why it is. So, okay. Yeah. So in package.json, you can you can see that there's another, it's not listed under dependencies, it's listed under dev dependencies, and that's what that dash capital D does. So it won't be, pushed to production because we don't need that here. We just need for our development purpose. We need Node-RED to restart the server whenever we want. So now we can write a script. Script are basically we can tell Node npm to run. So we can say dev, write a dev script. Actually, we can remove this test script. So we can write a test, dev script nodemon index.js. Scripts are basically, what we want to run in the terminal. We tell npm to run it. So we'll just say npm run dev. That's the name of the script. So you can see it will run nodemon index.js. And now we can see the console log. Server has started at port 5000. We can, app.get. We can see. Okay, so this app.get takes, the address. Okay, you can say address or root or route, whatever you call it, route of the app, and it will have a callback function which will be run after this route is requested by the user. So it will contain a request and a response object, and actually we can just simply say req and res, and these objects will contain all the request informations and the response will, help to respond. Which command did you use for installing package? Actually, we, initialized with it. We used npm init to initialize package.json. When we did you get it? Did I post it there? Right.
So basically, like when you install it, you get a few settings. When you enter the required details, it is automatically created once you finish that.
Yeah.
That's what.
And one cool thing, if you don't want to, waste that time, you can just simply npm init -y. It will, take all the default settings, and you can go ahead and change manually all the settings you need. Okay, so it took actually all the readme file. We didn't give a description, so that's no problem actually. So now we can res.send, and we can say hello world as always. Okay, so now we can, yeah, so now we don't get that error, cannot get slash. We have a hello world, but obviously you don't want to, send a string to your response. So you can, what you can do is you can actually, right, render. For that we have to, index.html. We have to set up a app.use express static, and we have to wait. You can just copy it right now. I'll explain what we're doing. Path. This is another path library which comes, actually we don't have to install it. It comes, what basically is a route. So route is basically, when you go to any site like slash, when you go to a site and you don't put slash anything, that's the slash route. But when you put slash about, that slash about is a route. Okay, route is basically a different place in that website.
So basically, like, a route, how do you use a route is basically you define how your pages. So you'll have many different pages, right? So route is kind of a address kind of a thing when you enter a particular website URL, and so basically here we are defining. So like if you see line number 8 here, app.get, it is slash about. That is called, the whole thing is called a route. When you we are defining the function here. So when on the front end we do our whatever our website name is, xyz.com slash about, so it would redirect us to the about page. Right now we haven't created the HTML part, so this is a he will be showing you in just a while once we start the server how route works. So that would be clear, but as of now, route is basically a function where you can, you could it is kind of an address kind of a thing on the website, so you could navigate to different pages.
Right. Right. No, that's what I did. Oh, okay. Okay, we have to restart. Should we use the template only? No, actually forgot the function to render static files. And
So guys, until Arpan is sorting out the problem, do you all have any more questions? Has everyone reached until where we are right now? Are you all at the same page? Are you all on the same page? Guys, this literally feels like a lecture because
yeah,
no one is replying, and it is very it is supposed to be more interactive.
not okay.
Shrikar, so in the JSON file, we didn't type anything. Don't worry, that has nothing to do with the settings. When you type the command that Arpan sent on the thing, a JSON file would be automatically created. And JSON file, there's not much settings on the JSON files. However, if there's a setting, we would, as the course proceeds, we would do whatever settings has been done until now is not necessary. So yeah, I repeat the command. That is this command. Once you do this, a JSON file is automatically created.
Yeah. 1 minute. One thing I did after installing Node-RED, if you did that. So what I did is inside that script, you would have a test after initializing that package.json. How to use VS Code? I got it installed.
Harshul, I'll get back to you with this. So
Yeah.
I'll get back to you personally.
We can do that.
Yes.
Yeah, personally
Yes.
we can do that. So yeah, in script you would have a test script. Okay, so I just deleted that and I added a new dev script. Actually, I make it big. It's too big.
Arpan, I think the previous size was perfect.
Yeah. Is this good?
Yeah, it is perfect.
Okay. So yeah, I just added a dev inside quotes. Okay, and I just added nodemon space index.js. Basically, what we will run here, nodemon index.js. Actually, this won't work without npm because we have installed it for this project, not globally. So we have to use npm to do that. So we just told npm that whenever we run like npm run dev, just run this script inside that project directory, right? So yeah, and that's how it ran nodemon index.js. I hope that's clear. Okay, back to why it's not sending file. Okay. Path absolute. It's absolute only, no.
Arpan, you've deleted the index.html file.
No, no, I have it in a static folder.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
The yeah, the static spelling, yeah.
No, no, it should not work. Yeah, it should not work that way. Actually, we have to, define a static folder here. So we have done that, but it should work. Taking it as a string only. And render should also not work. Actually, we can fix it, but that was T2's job. But okay, guys, let's you know.
Okay, Arpan, I think that is not an issue. I think you might have done a problem in defining the path as well. Anyhow, so I think we have almost reached the end of this workshop. So one thing that we could, we could not successfully complete on time is connecting the HTML page. So, so guys, today's workshop was the agenda for today's workshop was basic to teach you all how to start a server, to give you a glimpse about JavaScript, and go a glimpse about your CSS and HTML. So about this issue, we would get back, we would fix this issue for you guys. I mean, that is a very minor issue. We would get back to what issue it is by tomorrow.
Yeah.
In
I'm
our
just not getting this function. I'm just not getting this function, you know.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's not the issue. So
yeah.
So right now, what we wind up this workshop as of now, and we're open to queries now. So I think whoever is not at par with us right now can unmute yourself and get as to where your problem is. You can also screen share yourself and tell us that where you're facing problem.
Yeah, and Akansha, so how to close the server? Just press Ctrl+C. So yeah, Akansha, yeah, you might be inside node environment here, and you cannot run npm init here. Okay, so this error you should be getting, right? So you can just simply go like exit. Oh wait, you can press Control D, okay, to exit. Yeah, it will show you here as well. Okay, Control D to exit, or whatever your system tells you. You need to exit of that, and then you should npm write npm init and run it. That should solve your problem. Any more questions? I search for that function.
Arpan, Shrikar is asking how to close the server. So could you just press
yeah, I just told him. You can like node index.js running a server. You can press Ctrl+C and it will just close it.
Okay, any more questions? Anyone who feel free to share your screen. Arpan, you may stop sharing your screen so others can, present it if they wish to, and, share your doubts with us.
Okay.
Yeah, now, guys, anyone who wants to share your screen and, ask us any doubts, or, even normal doubts are fine. So, Harshul, you wanted help with VS Code, right? So could you tell me where exactly you're facing the problem? You are not able to start it, I believe, or you're new to it. Okay, no issues. Harshul, is it possible for you to unmute yourself and speak, or do you have some network connectivity issues? If you could screen share yourself, we could help you better. So yeah, I think that would be helpful to everyone who is new to uh, Visual Studio Code. If you can't, I will present my screen and I will give you all a brief explanation about Visual Studio Code.
Actually, my problem was previously I was working on my inbuilt system command prompt. I was using it as the terminal, but when I realized it, Arpan was using Visual Studio Code, I downloaded it, and then I am with Pari. I'm like I have the packages with me, but I'm not able to like how can I explain it now? I need to connect my laptop first with the meeting
Okay,
to
okay,
screen share
okay.
my
I got your
screen.
point. So, no issues. So, I like as far as I understood your problem. So basically, you have everything ready, but you're not able to connect that to Visual Studio Code. Is it? I mean, you want
Yeah,
to open the
exactly,
files to Visual
exactly.
Studio Code. Okay, I'll help you with that. Let me present my screen.
Sure.
So guys, this is in general for everyone, whoever is facing a problem with your, everyone whoever's new to Visual Studio Code. I'll just give you a brief explanation about Visual Studio Code. Yeah,
Pratik,
yeah, yes, Arpan, tell me.
I got that working.
Okay, no issues. We'll continue that tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, this is how when you open your Visual Studio Code, this is how your Visual Studio Code would be, and wherever your file is. So let us say like I'll pick up a file. Let me pick up. Yeah, okay. So suppose this is my file. Okay, you can just drag and drop it here, and the file opens. Harshul, was this your problem? Like this is how it works. So you get all the files here. Could you see this, Harshul?
Yeah, yeah.
So like, was this your doubt? Or do you want me to?
Kind of.
Okay, there's more to it. Fine, no worries. I'll go deeper into it. So basically, I'll repeat it. So just let me find the appropriate file to help you all with it.
1 second. Arshul,
Yeah.
which OS are you using?
Yeah.
Windows, bro.
Windows. Okay. So you'll be using like Git Bash or for your terminal. Git Bash or PowerShell.
I have no idea
Okay,
really,
I
bro.
got your problem. Yeah, Arpan,
Okay.
I think he has a problem with the command interface. He might not
Yeah,
be using.
I get that. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Harshul, the problem is the way. So Arpan is working on Linux, and I'm working on a Mac. So usually, the way it works on Linux and Mac, it's quite different as it works on Windows. So Windows has something called as PowerShell, and what you need to go ahead and do is you need to install Git Bash if you already don't have it.
Yeah, actually, I've downloaded it. GID, I've downloaded it.
You downloaded
Yeah.
it.
And if you have
So
the Python 3 or some else version downloaded,
Okay.
right click install Git, it will work for you.
So he already downloaded it, I guess.
Then it should have worked,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. So can you
Can you screen share or like the tab or not? Who was that? Harshul, right?
Just a minute. I need to connect my laptop to the meeting for it.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, Harshul, take your
okay.
time. In the meanwhile, does anyone have any other doubts?
Can you explain Express.js? Express, what we used here.
Yeah. Wait. So should I share my screen?
How are you comfortable?
Share it when Harshul will come, we'll end it. Share it.
Okay. Okay. So what happens is you got what Node is, right?
Yes, yes.
So Node basically, enables us to run JavaScript on a machine like server. Okay, and what Express does, so it's a little tough to create servers and handle middlewares in Node. You can do that in Node, but Express makes it a bit easy. Yeah, you saw how easily we just wrote app.listen, gave a port number, and it started listening to that port, right? So Express just makes it easy to create a server and work with it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just an abstraction over Node for creating servers and handling middlewares and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might not be very sure of what port number is. I mean, I understand since you all are beginners, you might have doubts. So what how it works is a port number is basically like I would suggest you all to as we work on this project, as we go deeper into it, these terms are new, I understand, but as we go deeper into it, you all will surely understand how it works. So today was just how the server starts, but over the few workshops, we will be changing the port numbers to explain how different port numbers react to it. So y'all can go through it. Yes, Anju, what we'll be doing is we'll be uploading this whole recording on our YouTube channel, and we'll this it might this might take some time, but we'll share it by tomorrow morning. If not, we'll try to do it by latest by tomorrow morning. And we'll also be sharing all the required notes. So if you all have I would suggest you all, so before you all come for the tomorrow session, whatever we have made till now, just connection of the HTML file, which Arpan will surely take up the doubts tomorrow again, but like how the starting of the server, etc. You all should be prepared until here till tomorrow, so we can go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think if we'll end the session if there's no more doubts. So I ask once more, if anyone has doubts, come forward and ask us. Feel free to do so. If not, we'll end the session now.
I guess Harshal is coming, right?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Harshal.
I've joined.
Yes. So yeah, if you guys don't have doubts and you all want to have a Visual Studio Code explanation, you all can stay. Others, you all are free to leave from. I mean, you all can end this meeting from your side, because our workshop part has been completed for today. Hey Shiva, I read your comment that you are not at par with us. Are you facing any problem anywhere?
Yeah, I'll check with recordings, bro. I had yeah, I have joined lately, so
Okay, no issues. You didn't miss much. However, we'll be sharing the required files where you can go and read the documentation
yeah,
and
We
that will be
haven't
great.
started
Thank
working
you.
on the project actually. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
we've
do
just
that tomorrow.
showed a brief overview of the whole how the
Yeah.
things work. So you'll don't yeah.
yeah. Once again, I'll check with you'll upload this
Yeah,
recording,
yeah.
right?
We
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
upload it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. We
yes.
will upload.
Okay.
So this is what my VS Code looks like.
Arpan, could you check that out? Arpan, are you there?
Okay, I was talking you. Okay, no problem. Yeah, it looks fine to me. Wait, what you can do is go to your VS Code. Yeah, you see the terminal where in the down. Yeah, you see where it's written 1:PowerShell. above, on the top bar of the terminal, on the right side.
There's a drop down.
Drop
Yeah.
down, yeah. Just click on it and select a default shell. Select a default shell. Yeah, you can choose git bash from there. Yeah, that one. Yeah, just select it, and you can press that dustbin or delete button there in the terminal. Don't close it, just
On the terminal.
on the terminal, on the
Down.
Yeah, just delete it, close it, and you can open a new terminal. Yeah. Now you'll have a bash cell here. Yeah. So yeah, it's fine. You'll be working
Yeah.
this with this
Actually,
folder. No?
so earlier you were
Actually,
working on the Windows PowerShell terminal. Now Bash would do the work for you, so everything would work perfectly fine. Try checking out if you have any commands. Arpan, could you give him some command to work upon?
yeah, like CD works on PowerShell as well. So actually, most of the bash commands is does work on PowerShell, but bash will be very similar to my terminal, so you'll be able to follow along perfectly. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Thanks
So
so much, bro. Thank you so much.
yeah, you can you have installed Express, you have installed Node1. So yeah, what you can do is you can delete that test script in the package.json only, in the package which you have opened up. Yeah, that one. You see that test script?
Line number 7. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can delete that. Just remove that line. Yeah, and in place of that, you can double quotes dev and no, don't give space. Yeah, come out of the quotes, give colon space, and again in quotes you can write nodemon space index.js. Yeah, you can save the package.json, and for now you won't need much. Yeah, you can close it, and you can create index.js, and actually you can close the package.json, bro.
No, Harshul. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, open your Visual Studio Code. Yeah. So by closing a particular file in Node in Visual Studio Code, he means can you see a X on the tab of package.json on the top? There's a cross. Yeah, correct. This one. He means to say that. Yes. Yeah.
For creating a new file, you can go to where Harshul Workshop is written. You just hover over it, and don't click. Just go over there, and the first the first icon is for new file. The second icon is for new folder. Okay, so you can click on new file. Click on new file, and you can type the file name index.js. And it will create a new file. Press enter. Yeah, it will create a new file. No problem, bro. This we'll write the server configurations here, and you can see, I guess you can see that in the recording as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much, Arpan.
No problem. Pratik.
Okay, guys. So any more doubts? Okay then. I think that is pretty much it for today then. Feel free to post your doubts on the WhatsApp group as well, I repeat. And yeah, we'll be posting the video max by tomorrow morning. We'll try to do it before that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay guys. Fine. Have a nice day everyone. Good night. Good evening. Bye.
Good evening. Bye bye.